There's a message being spread in today's world, and it's a dangerous one. It tells men that their strength is a problem, that their ambition is selfish, and that their very nature is something to apologize for. This is not just an attack on men, it's an attack on the very foundation that holds society together. Masculinity is not a flaw. It is not something to be erased or softened. It is the driving force behind protection, leadership, and the willingness to take responsibility in the face of hardship. Without strong men, families crumble, communities weaken, and society loses its ability to stand firm against chaos. Look around you. The consequences of this attack are everywhere. Young men lost, without purpose, without guidance, without the strength to build themselves into something greater. Masculinity has been under attack for too long, painted as something dangerous, something harmful, something the world would be better without. But the truth is, masculinity is not toxic. It is essential. It is the force that builds, protects, and sustains. It is the foundation of strength, resilience, and responsibility. Without it, the world does not become safer, it becomes weaker. A strong man is not a threat, he is a protector. He is the one who stands firm when others crumble, who takes responsibility when others run, who leads when others hesitate. Masculinity is not about destruction, it is about creation. It is the discipline to work hard, the courage to take risks, and the strength to bear burdens that others cannot. It is the quiet resolve of a father who sacrifices for his family, the unwavering determination of a man who refuses to give up, and the leadership of someone who takes on the responsibility of making things better. Yet today, many men are told that their natural instincts to protect, to provide, to push forward are somehow wrong. They are encouraged to be passive, to step back, to silence themselves. But what happens when men stop embracing their strength? Families suffer, communities weaken, a generation of boys grows up lost, without direction, without discipline, without role models to guide them. The world does not benefit when men suppress who they are. It suffers. A man who fully embraces his masculinity does not use it to dominate, he uses it to serve. He does not harm, he builds. He does not control, he leads. Masculinity at its best is about responsibility. It is about carrying the weight of something bigger than yourself, about standing tall when life tries to break you, about forging a path forward when there is no clear way ahead. The world does not need less masculinity, it needs more. More men who take ownership of their lives. More men who lead with strength and wisdom. More men who refuse to be weakened by a culture that does not understand the value of their role. The future does not belong to those who retreat. It belongs to those who stand up, take responsibility, and build something worth fighting for. The attack on masculinity is not just an attack on men, it is an attack on responsibility itself. When society tells men that their strength is dangerous, their ambition is selfish, and their leadership is oppressive, it is not just masculinity that is being undermined. It is the very foundation of what makes a strong, stable, and thriving world. Masculinity, at its core, is about stepping up, taking charge, and being accountable. When that is stripped away, what remains is weakness, passivity, and a world where no one is willing to bear the weight of responsibility. A man who embraces his masculinity does not run from hardship, he confronts it. He does not look for excuses, he finds solutions. He does not shy away from duty, he welcomes it. Masculinity is about more than physical strength, it is about inner strength. The ability to endure, to build, to protect, and to sacrifice when necessary. But today, men are told to suppress these instincts, to step aside, to avoid taking the lead. They are made to feel guilty for their natural drive to take responsibility, as if responsibility itself is something negative. When men are discouraged from being strong, from leading, from holding themselves accountable, society pays the price. Families lack stability, communities lose structure, and the world drifts further into chaos. Because responsibility is not something that disappears when men are told to abandon it. It simply shifts onto those who are not prepared to carry it. A world without strong, responsible men does not become more equal, it becomes more fragile. The solution is simple, but not easy. Men must reject the narrative that tells them to be less, to hold back, to play small. They must stand firm in their role as leaders, protectors, and builders. They must take ownership of their lives, set an example for the next generation, and prove through action that masculinity is not something to be erased, but something to be embraced. Because when men take responsibility, the world becomes stronger, and that is something worth fighting for. Strength is not something that appears out of nowhere. It is not something that happens by accident or luck. Strength is built through discipline, structure, and order. It is forged through consistent effort, through a commitment to responsibility, and through the ability to create stability in a world full of uncertainty. Chaos does not create strength, it destroys it. Without order, without structure, without a clear sense of direction, there is nothing to build upon. A man who embraces order in his life becomes stronger in every way. He wakes up with purpose, he moves with intention, and he understands that success does not come from wishful thinking, but from disciplined action. Chaos, on the other hand, leads to weakness. It keeps a man distracted, unfocused, and constantly reacting instead of planning. It convinces him that life is happening to him rather than being something he has control over. When chaos takes over, a man loses himself. His potential is wasted, his energy is scattered, and his life drifts without meaning. The strongest people in history, those who have built, led, and inspired, were not controlled by chaos. They created order in their minds, in their actions, and in their environments. They took responsibility for their time, their habits, and their goals. They understood that without structure, progress is impossible. Discipline is the foundation of strength. It is what separates those who succeed from those who remain stuck. It is what allows a man to take control of his future rather than becoming a victim of his circumstances. Order does not mean living a rigid, joyless life. It means having the self-control to do what needs to be done even when it is difficult. It means setting standards for yourself and refusing to lower them. It means building daily habits that create success over time. A man who masters order masters himself, and a man who masters himself becomes unstoppable. Because true strength is not found in chaos. It is built through order, discipline, and the relentless pursuit of becoming something greater. The future is not built by chance. It is shaped by the hands of those who take responsibility for guiding the next generation. Fathers and mentors play a role that cannot be replaced. They are the ones who set the example, who provide the wisdom, who instill discipline, and who teach young men what it means to stand tall in a world that constantly tries to break them. Without strong fathers and mentors, society weakens, and young men are left lost, searching for direction in a world that does not always have their best interests in mind. A father is more than just a provider. He is a leader, a protector, and a role model. He teaches through action, showing his children what hard work, integrity, and perseverance look like. A boy learns how to be a man, not by words alone, but by watching how a man carries himself in difficult moments. He learns how to handle pressure, how to take responsibility, and how to treat others with respect. Without that presence, without that guidance, young men are forced to figure things out on their own, often making mistakes that could have been avoided with the right mentorship. But not every boy has a father in his life, and that is where mentors step in. A strong mentor changes everything. He provides the wisdom that schools do not teach. He shows a young man that discipline matters, that confidence is built through action, and that true strength comes from responsibility. He pushes him to aim higher, to work harder, and to believe in himself when the world tries to convince him otherwise. The impact of strong fathers and mentors does not just stop with one generation. It creates a ripple effect. A boy who grows up with guidance becomes a man who leads. He takes what he has learned and passes it down, ensuring that the next generation is even stronger. The cycle of strength, wisdom, and responsibility continues. The future depends on those who are willing to step up, to lead, and to shape the next generation into men who are capable, confident, and ready to take on the challenges of the world. The world is full of challenges, obstacles, and forces that try to pull you down. You can spend your time blaming society, complaining about unfairness, or waiting for someone to change things for you. or you can take control. The best way to fight back is not through anger, not through resentment, but through action. You build yourself first. You become stronger, wiser, and more disciplined so that nothing can shake you. You don't waste energy fighting battles that don't matter. You focus on becoming someone so capable that no obstacle can stand in your way. Strength is not given, it is built. It starts with small daily choices, how you wake up in the morning, how you carry yourself, how you react when life gets difficult. Every decision you make is shaping you into either a weaker or a stronger version of yourself. You must train your mind to push through discomfort, to seek growth, and to demand more from yourself than anyone else ever will. If you do not take control of your own life, someone else will, and they won't have your best interests in mind. Discipline is the foundation of everything. Without it, dreams stay dreams, goals remain out of reach, and potential is wasted. A man who lacks discipline is a man who is controlled by his emotions, by distractions, by anything that pulls him away from his purpose. But a man who masters discipline becomes unstoppable. He does not wait for motivation. He acts because he knows success is built through consistency, not feelings. Fighting back does not mean proving yourself to others. It means proving yourself to yourself. It means setting a standard for who you are and refusing to accept anything less. It means making sacrifices, taking responsibility, and demanding more from your mind and body. The world will not hand you strength, success, or respect. You must earn it. And the moment you decide to take control of your life, to build yourself into something unshakable, is the moment you truly start to win.